What's going on, everyone? So I started this video probably close to 2 years ago now, maybe longer. I have no idea where the old footage is, but that footage doesn't even matter. We're working on the vacuum pump on the back passenger side of the engine for a 2013 F150 3.5 EcoBoost. Now I shouldn't have to say 3.5 because it's a 2013. That should give it away because they didn't come out with the 2.7 till 2015 with aluminum bodies. But I still have to clarify that to people. Anyways, like I said, I started this a couple years back. The reason being it never got done is the 3 bolts that are on the back of it, this third one at the bottom, rounded off on me. The other 2 came out nice and easy. I'm like, huh, that's weird. Why did this one not come out well? I'm like, whatever, let me try and get the extractor on it. You don't have a lot of room back there because it's back there. It's between the firewall and the block. So you maybe have like a few inches to work with. Every video out there is like, oh yeah, it's simple, it comes off easily. I found one guy on a forum that had issues taking it off. Same issue I had. Extractor bolt this. He kind of had the same idea that I was going with of grinding it off and then pulling it back and then just being able to grip it. So that's probably what we're going to try and do today, between today and tomorrow. But because of this issue didn't get fixed in a timely manner, the hole underneath of my engine block, as you can see, transmission, everything is covered in oil, which is bad because it's been dripping right onto the exhaust, and then you can smell it burning in the cab. So thankfully it's not gotten hot enough to set it on fire, but I think that's because the turbos are also leaking coolant somewhere. Something's leaking coolant. Yeah, you can see it right up in there, sort of the back of it leaking like crazy. So we got to try and get that bottom bolt out of there that's stripped. One of them. No, it's the top one maybe. Yeah, because they changed out that one, that one's the stripped one. So we got to try and get the stripped one off. I already bought new bolts from Ford, so we're good on that aspect. Yeah, something's leaking coolant at a pretty good, decent rate under here. I just don't know what. But we're going to spray all this down with super clean, with the foaming degreaser or something super clean. We're going to spray it all down so it can start soaking up and cleaning off, and then we're going to take it and try and wash it at the car wash or at the pressure washer, try and wash it all off so we have clean surfaces to work with. So that's the first order of business. Spray it all down so we can start degreasing, and then we can go work on it. I also have to change that O2 sensor, the downstream. I'm going to have to change this one, so we'll see. But anyways, let me spray this stuff and get with you guys. Look at that. You can already see it start to work. Alright, we'll let that soak in a little bit, and then we're gonna go hit the car wash and try and spray underneath this bad boy. Try and get as cleaned up as possible. Alright, we're back. This is everything that dripped off of it when I was spraying it all down. Right now I got it drip drying. It all looks pretty clean up in here. It started after I washed everything, which is a good sign. I tried getting under here the best that I could. Oh yeah, that looks a lot better. Dang. Oh yeah, look at all that. Yeah, you can kind of see maybe see on the back of the pump where it's leaking and stuff. So we gotta try and get that off today. I mean, it didn't do, I couldn't get the sprayer up in there the best that I could, but I mean, for just hitting it with some of the super clean spray and then spraying it down, did pretty good. I'm happy with it. All right, let's see how we can get that bolt off, because the other two are ones that I replaced already. So now we just need to get that one off, see what it'll entail. Fun. All right, so after messing around with some of my extractor sockets, still wasn't able to get that bolt off. So I ended up getting this extension for the Dremel and then putting the cutoff wheel for the Dremel. I have a neighbor who stops by every now and then. He was helping me. I ended up going from bottom up because I can see where I was cutting. So this is a totally different day because I realized I didn't really show you guys how I was cutting that back bolt, but I was able to sneak my hand through the wheel well, like up in here, with the cutoff wheel. Again, these wires weren't really in the way, but you can kind of see the cutoff wheel up here. And then I was able to get it over onto the bolt. Again, a lot of stuff in the way right now because I put everything back, but you can kind of see how I was able to get to it like this. And then my neighbor was able to turn on the Dremel for me, but otherwise, and as you can see, I was able to cut the head off the bolt. And then by the time I cut the head off, I was able to undo it with my finger and it just loosened out of there. But once I cut the head off, all right, battery died. But anyways, what I was saying was, once I cut the head off from going from the bottom up, because I did most of it from top down without seeing it. So bottom up, was able to see it, did the good old safety squints. Then I was able to pull this off and it was kind of up and around like this. It's a hard angle to get the camera in there, guys, so I'm sorry for not capturing all of it. And then once I got it off, the bolt legit was just finger loose. I was able to undo it by hand. So then it came out. So now I have a nice stud. I bought all brand new bolts from Ford. They're, I don't know where they are, but they're somewhere. I already sprayed the back of it, cleaned it up as best as I can. Now I'm gonna use some black RTV around the edges here to help silicone it, because right here and right here is where the valve cover meets the head and where you want that extra silicone, but you also want it all the way around anyways, because mine, you can see, was leaking very heavily right here, even though this was a bolt that I couldn't get off. And then the filter had some gunk in there. Won't really focus on it, but anyways, there's gunk in that filter. So I'm going to put a little oil or grease on this guy here so it slides in a little bit easier. You just want to make sure the wheels are clocked the same from where this one came out. This one matches, so then it goes back in all together. I did move some of these wires out of my way, so I unplugged this one and undid it from down there where it mounts. Like right there, there's a stud. It's on like this fancy clip that screws onto the stud, and then it has a zip tie. So undid it from there, folded it back here, zip tied it down, took off the PCV valve, this guy, took that off, so then pushed it out of my way, had a little bit extra room. You can do it from around here. The other bolts are pretty easy to get to. As long as the bolts don't strip, this is a fairly easy task to take care of. But I've been pushing it off for over a year, knowing that I would have to cut the bolt, and if it wasn't going to come out easily, this would be a few day job. But we've had some nice weather for February in the Midwest here, so yeah. But also there seems to be a pretty good coolant leak coming out of my truck somewhere that I need to find still, because it looks like it's coming from the front somewhere. But anyways, I'm going to start putting the silicone on and putting this all back together, and this job will be done. finished tying down the bolts, and then all we gotta do once I have the bolts tied down, remove this cap right there, hook the breather, whatever, the tube back to it that goes to the brake line or brake booster, move the wiring back, hook it back to this guy, whatever that's for, something in the valve cover, and then where you should be good. Oh, and then there's this line down here that pushes back. There's like a hole on the back of the pump that it slides into, and then this also gets zip tied down up here so it doesn't lay on the exhaust, because it seems like it's somewhat of importance of wiring, hence they have it wrapped in heat shield. So let me wrap everything up and I'll show you guys the finished product. Got the new pump on, the vacuum pump. Everything's hooked up, good to go. I was able to get out, got the new one on, put the RTV sealant on there, and now it looks like it is leaking from the valve cover. So eventually I gotta pull the valve covers off, get the gaskets for that. The next videos you're gonna see is gonna be a heater hose, which I just finished doing that video, and then a water pump video because I had to order a new water pump. So I found all the leaks. For the most part, what's leaking, it looks like it's coming off the water pump. This is an external water pump, but yeah. So I just want to give a shout out to Super Clean because, well, their products work really well. I use them all the time, whether it's inside the house, in a video, you guys see me use them. I mean, for a funny coincidence, I did paint my hitch. It's a little off, but it's actually to match my recovery hook on the back of my Ranger, which you guys haven't seen the finished product of this yet, but the same color as that. The hitch was rusty, figured I'd paint it. But yeah, so I want to give a shout out to Super Clean because they've been sending me their product to try out and keep using. I stand by it. It works, does a good job. Yeah, but yeah, so I'm going to cut back into the video now, and I think that's the end of the video. So, but yeah, we're gonna cut back into the end of the video now. That's it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. That was my solution to trying to get the vacuum pump off, and I will catch you guys later.